Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Marvel Legends X-Men Wave Gladiator figure, which is almost identical to the one we saw not too long ago in, I believe it was a Comic-Con exclusive 5-pack, if memory serves. I think that was the one. And that one was pretty cool looking with a couple of issues. This one, it has more issues and isn't as cool looking, so honestly it's not as good. But we're going to go through the review anyway. There's still some good things about this figure, so let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. And this guy stands to the top of his head about 17.5 centimeters. The mohawk takes him up about another centimeter, and that's going to make him just about 7 inches to the top of the head and about a little shy of 7.5 to the top of the mohawk. Now this figure is just a straight up Hyperion mold, which is not one of their better figures. You can see the chest sticks out in a weird way, the arms stick forward in a weird way at the shoulder, and he's got extremely fat ankles and feet, but it still looks kind of cool for Gladiator, because Gladiator is such a cool design. Which makes me think, is this figure any better than this figure, which is the SDCC version? Unless I'm wrong and it was some other version, but I'm pretty sure it's SDCC. It's been a long time. Anyway, this guy's got metallic blue, which looks great. He's got metallic gold, which looks great. And he's got a glossy face, which looks terrible. So, in that regard, this guy's better. The non-glossy face is much better on this guy. However, everything else on this guy is better. Plus, he has shading. We'll even discount the shading because it's a Comic-Con version. Let's look at the paint quality. Look at this cape. It is terrible. Absolutely terrible paint quality. It's splotchy. It's not even close to clean lines. It is just terrible. It looks like a little kid's school project or something. It's super spotty. This one, almost completely clean lines. It's almost perfect. So that's disappointing. And then if you look at his, the red transitioning to the blue, very clean. On this guy, the arms are okay, but the legs aren't even close. Not even close. It's really, really spotty. Not a good paint job on this guy. Very, very disappointing. The hair is painted well, though. I think... Yeah, I mean, the Comic-Con one's a little bit better because it's a darker blue and a little bit more, I guess, directly placed. But it's still fine. The mohawk still looks nice, having the blue shading on there. So you're probably wondering, and you're probably assuming you can. Let me make sure you can. If you want to switch the faces because the purple's less glossy, even though the purple on the neck won't quite line up, will this make a much better Gladiator figure? I think that might be a good alternative for some people if you don't want the glossy face. It looks pretty good. Alright, but now let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of the review that we're supposed to be doing. The cape, by the way, sits alright. The clasp sits a little bit high. Doesn't quite sit properly, but it'll do. But we're going to set that aside so we can do the articulation. Oh wow, the neck is not even barely painted on this one. So that's a thing. It doesn't match on its own figure even. So the head does sit a little bit high, as you can see. We have a lot of lollipop syndrome, so you can do this. So if you want to give them that Valley Girl attitude, you can do it. But you do get your full rotation. Obviously your hinge, it's still very ratchety, so you only get top and bottom, and then it's going to want to snap into place. You can kind of get it to stay in between, but that's going to be no fun. So that's still an issue. It's been like that with Hyperion for a long time. Look how high the head sits. It's not good. Shoulders are still really far forward, but that is what it is. That's what we have to live with, I guess. Functionally, they're about the same as always. Doesn't seem to be an issue. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow is fine. Wrist swivel and hinge, no problem at all. Ab crunch goes back 1. Goes forward 2. Good range there. Waist swivel, standard. Hips going out to the side, probably the best we've seen. For whatever reason, Hyperion, the big heavy body, is the one with the best hip movement. Makes no sense. All the way forward, a little bit back. Thigh swivel's fine. Double jointed knee is fine. Shin swivel if you want it. Feet go all the way back. Feet go really far forward, and you get an ankle rocker. So the articulation is functionally fine. It's just the body itself has really odd proportions and design choices. And then it's just terribly painted. So if you have the Comic-Con version, honestly, you don't need this one unless you absolutely hate the glossy face. Oh, also, this is something I noticed. His peg for his cape, I'm going to make sure I say for his cape just so that nobody makes any inappropriate jokes. Why isn't it not focusing? What is this, 5 years ago when I'm shooting videos? The peg for his cape is particularly floppy, and I'm not going to make any jokes. It's a little tricky to get into the hole. Still not making any jokes. Anyway, back to the SDCC question. If you have the original release, I would say stick with it and maybe just clear coat the head so that it's not glossy. Because this figure, just the paint job, again, it's purely paint job on this guy. It's a completely blank body, and it's not good. It's a very sloppy paint job. We have decent paintwork from like here to here on the cape, and that's about it. So that's a bummer. It looks cool, but that's because of the character design, not because of their execution. So this is kind of a dud in the wave. His counterpart looks significantly cooler, minus the glossy face. So stick with that one if you have it. I think you'll be happy. There it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have new videos up almost every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, and all kinds of other fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.